Danny, you have an amazing organization called My Hometown Heroes, and I was wondering if you could tell us a little bit more about that today. So I thought we could start with, what is your story of how you created it, and what is My Hometown Heroes?
Yeah, it's the origin story, right? Well, when I graduated college back in May of 1999, I had aspirations to backpack Europe with my best friends 2 days following college graduation. And I was going to start my career as an electrical engineer when I got back and moved to Colorado or Arizona. But a week before I graduated, I woke up with like a migraine headache. And, being 23 years old and in college and indestructible, didn't really think much of it. But every morning the headaches would just keep on persisting. And then I played in a softball game one evening and just felt like a river rock was just pounding into my skull. So I set up a couple appointments with my family doctor in a local medical clinic to get a couple opinions. And they said, oh, it's probably stress of finals. You're anxious to graduate and you're excited to go to Europe. So again, being ignorant, 23-year-old college kid, not a big deal. So I graduated on May 16th or May 17th back in 1999. I was 23 years old. And then the following morning, the headaches came back with a vengeance, worse than ever. And my dad and I go to the ER at St. Mary's. And after 2.5 hours of testing, blood test, chest x-ray, and CAT scan, I meet my dad back in the waiting room and he says, it doesn't look like you're going to Europe. The doctor thinks you have a tumor. So they found a racquetball in my head that was removed a few days later. But it was in those initial few hours in the next few days where, just because I just graduated from college, I had my family was still in town. And, obviously my friends from college, I was in a fraternity. I was in student senate at the time. And so they just came pouring into the hospital room just with so much like love and support. And it really like humbled me to the core. And it's like, man, I'm fighting for you guys now. This is no longer about me. Like I got to fight every day because you guys are supporting me. And that's kind of where the concept of My Hometown Heroes was spawned. My disease, primary central nervous system lymphoma, has a median survival rate of 5 years. So I had to get to 5 years first. Wow. And, they say that 30 days out from cancer is good news. 1 year out cancer free is great news. 5 years out, you're, considered cured. So I kind of look at every 5 years of my life as like an opportunity to reinvent myself. That's just kind of how things end up working out. But yeah, for the 10th year remission in 2010, I decided that I was going to train for my first Ironman triathlon. And with that process, I was going to raise $10,000, symbolic of the decade milestone. And met with a couple of my buddies, and they said, well, what are we going to raise the money for? Like Live Strong or Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. And then one of them mentioned, why don't you start a scholarship fund? So I was like, okay, I don't know how to do that, but let's figure it out.
Yeah, let's go for it.
So finished Ironman Canada in 2010, raised over $10,000. And I already had fundraising experience because I raised money for the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society through my first several years of remission. And I became a cycling coach. And so that everything kind of built upon itself leading up to this impetus, year of 2010 to competing in the Ironman and then starting the foundation. So since 2010, we've awarded over $300,000 in scholarships to young adults pursuing a college education that are cancer survivors. So they can be going to university, community college, or trade school. And we have kids from all across the country apply for the scholarship, and we award anywhere between $1,000 to $10,000 each.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah. So My Hometown Heroes, our mission is to help bridge the gap between cancer and college, one scholarship at a time.
I love it. Could you tell us a little bit more about how we can support your organization as with a volunteer, or if we want to donate to the cause?
Yeah, such a great question. it just so happens that we are in the process of reviewing our scholarship candidate applications right now. So we have about 125 kids that applied from all across the country. And this is a great volunteer opportunity for anyone, because you can do it. You can actually volunteer remotely. And what we do is we distribute about a dozen or so candidates in 2 different pools. Reviewers will be reviewing between 25 to 30 scholarship candidates at a time. And we have a scoring system based on 5 criteria. So whatever hits you about reading their essay and their scholarship application, you can score their application based on how it hits you or based on how you interpret their story. And that is, I mean, that is 100% volunteer opportunity. And the idea is like, God, you know, this is like going through this process is you're feeling the pulse of our mission. Like you're reading about these kids' stories, like everything that they've gone through. And you just like, you want to give to all of them, but there's only so much money to go around. Based on how much we can raise in any given campaign. But while reviewing the scholarship applications, there's a link that I sent over to you, Megan, with the GiveButter platform. So all of our scholarship recipients are on that link. So if you happen to read their stories and you become inspired, you could actually make a donation right then and there.
Very cool. I love that anyone can get involved, and Danny's made it really easy to be able to donate to the cause. And if you are feeling interested in wanting to volunteer with My Hometown Heroes, I'll put the link in the video description and you can all check it out.
Yeah. And then we also have our Fund a Future program as well, where it's basically a recurring donation program to where you can it's kind of like a Netflix subscription, set it and forget it, right? It bills you monthly. So, you know, you could set up an account, $5, $10, but we do have a century level account to where if you choose to subscribe or sponsor at $100 a month for 12 months, you've actually sponsored and funded a full scholarship for a recipient. And even better than that is you get to be the first person, or a representative from your company gets to be the first person to call that recipient to inform them of their award.
That's so exciting. Yeah, I can't imagine how exciting it is to be able to earn one of those scholarships after overcoming one of the most difficult challenges perhaps of your entire life.
Yeah. I mean, when you're a young adult and you're looking to start your career or travel and that happens, it's the ultimate disruption.
Thanks so much, Danny. I appreciate your time today, and we'll make sure to put all the links that you can all check it out. And if you have any other questions, make sure to connect with Danny.